And we are back. Yes, it's my turn this month for advanced orders. Peter, say hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
How's it going, everybody? So this is our monthly show, and we go back and forth on our channels. And like I said, it's my turn, and we're basically going to be talking about advanced orders books that we are going to be picking up and reading, hopefully. And we're adding reviews, and we also picked some books that we said no way. I told Peter, "Hey, Peter, there's just a couple of books that got on my nerves when I seen the covers. Do you mind if I add them on?" He goes, "I'll add some on too." I said,
Yeah,
"Okay."
yeah,
And then at the end, we're going to be having a book that we're going to be reading that's coming out next week
yeah,
that we will be reading. So, you ready to go?
yeah. I'm looking forward to this, mate. I think we've been doing this show for a good while now, and every time I have a look, there's always a load of books that jump out that pique my interest. So I think there's some
Yeah.
good ones this time. And before we start, Efren, I'm going to get in before you dare say anything. Can I just say what an absolute pleasure it is doing this show with you? Worked with you for a long time now, and I love you to bits. So over the moon
Yeah.
to be doing this with you, mate.
Oh my God! I forgot to do my. Wait a minute, Peter. I didn't have anything set up to. Oh gosh,
That's it. That's it. Screw it. Switch it
we're
off.
done. We're done. God. Oh my God! I just forgot to do that. Oh God, I'm getting old. I'll start again next month when
Yeah,
we're doing it
yeah.
on your channel. So, dang, let's start all over again. Hang on, let me put the opening song again. Start again. That's the first time God, it's been a year since I haven't done. Oh, now I feel bad. So,
Oh,
but anyways,
I'll cry
let's
myself to
see.
sleep, Efren. Don't worry.
Yeah, before we go any further, let's see. Let's go on the comment section. There is your buddy at StreamYard. Thank you for always showing up. We can always count on StreamYard.
Yeah,
So,
he's a
and
good guy.
another
Good
person
guy.
we can always count on, especially on your channel, and I appreciate him being on, coming on all the time, is Fuzzy. Thank you so much.
Fuzzy.
It's a
Tremendous.
modern day Tubbs and Crockett.
Fuzzy.
And thanks, you know.
He's
And
not wrong.
we have Luis Mendoza. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, fellas? Thanks for showing
Hey,
up.
Louise.
Let's go Niners. Yeah, it's my Niners, man. Let's go Niners football. We'll talk about sports. You ready? I know
Oh,
you're not
no.
into sports at all. Let me see here. We got another comment. That background is busy. Yeah. So, and we have Deadman. Hey,
Oh,
Deadman sent me a message. I'm going to be looking for some books for him. So when he heard I was going to LA Comic Con, he sent me a message. So for two Action Comics, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to look out for them for
yeah.
you."
He's got a good collection, Dead Man.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty much filled a number of runs, so there's not that many that he's after now from the Action Comics and the Superman's kind of books.
Yeah, the minute he heard that I was going to LA Comic Con right
Yeah.
after our show on Monday, sent me a message. So it's not a problem. I'll just look for them, you know. So,
Yeah.
and last up is Sean Hogan.
Gosh.
Thanks for showing up. Okay,
Nice to
so
see you.
this is our books, comic books that basically advanced orders. So you ready to go?
Yeah, show me it. Yeah.
So these are books that are coming out in January releases. So obviously you order them now, and 2 months down the road they're going to be coming out. And I just like this slide. So shut up and take my money. Basically, this is it. This is where I spend most of my monthly allowance, on
Yeah.
comic books. So you're up first.
Okay, so this one's just piqued my interest a little bit, and I don't know if it's just because it's got Alex Ross cover art, but it's by Chip Zdarsky, who I think is normally a tremendous writer. You get some great stuff from him, and it says with the clock ticking on the new to the New Year's Day, and the world against him, Captain America must build an army to save America. Will his surviving friends sign up, or is he going to have to lead the ragtag group called the Defenders against the expert military marksman known as Bullseye? It's got redesigns of a whole host of characters. I don't really know what the series is about, to be honest, but the
Yeah.
artwork looked amazing. I clocked it because it had, like I say, futuristic versions of the Avengers. And I think we've talked before, Efren, I'm always into kind of an Elseworld or a what if kind of tale where you know that actually, because it's not in modern day continuity, anything could happen. So some of these characters could meet the demise and that kind of stuff. So it looked interesting, so I thought I'd give it a go.
The part that got me was the Defenders. I went, okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
So I was thinking of the original Defenders. Who would they be? But if this is like an Elseworld story, then I do like that because you
yeah,
can do anything with this, basically.
yeah, yeah. We haven't
So
had a Defenders run for a long time, I don't think, have we? I can't
now they
remember.
always had. They just kind of went downhill with the Secret Defenders,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just I didn't really like those characters. So
no,
yeah, we'll see how it is.
yeah.
I picked this one, Thrawn, basically because of James. I know he's a Star Wars fan of Thrawn. So this is Star Wars Thrawn Alliance's #1. It says return to the saga of Thrawn with the comic book adaptation of Thrawn Alliances. Timothy Zahn teams with Star Wars veterans Jody Hauser to bring Thrawn Alliances to the pages of comic books. So I've never read the book.
Right.
On Alliances. So I figured I'd read this, and I do like this cover. His eyes are so striking,
Yeah.
staring at you.
So I've not read the book either. The I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, the Throne book that James always goes on about. But they reckon it's phenomenal. So I mean, I'm not that into my Star Wars comics, if I'm honest, Efren, but I might pick this one up just to see if it can give us a bit of a backstory, because I was a little bit disappointed with the character in Ahsoka, to be honest. So
I don't know much about. Yeah, I don't know much about Thrawn either. I did see him in Star Wars Rebels, the animated series, and Ahsoka. But besides that, I have no idea who he is. I just wasn't that into him. But so hopefully it's a good read.
Fuzzy's just saying it's Rise of the Empire. That's the one, mate. That's
Rise of the Empire. Okay, cool. Thanks, Fuzzy. And you're up next.
I'm a 47-year-old man. I didn't mean I'm picking Power. So the reason I've picked Power Pack, right? So back in the day, when I was just a young child, Power Pack formed part of a UK comic that had kind of our comic Sefron. You would have like a newspaper style comic, and it would have 3 or 4 different stories in it. So it would have, like the book I used to read was called Havoc, and it had like Ghost Rider, RoboCop, and Power Pack or something like that. Power Pack, I think, was like a backup feature in Thundercats or something along those lines. And I remember loving them back in the day. Now, obviously, the Power Pack characters have grown up as the years have gone on, and they've changed a little bit. But I've always been really intrigued by their backstory and the powers. This book is a new kind of series, and it's by the original creators, Louise Simmons, Simpson, sorry. So I don't know, it appeals to us. I also think Power Pack has got potential to be a great little series on Disney. If you do a kind of I don't know, not a children's version, but a kind of a more non-adult teen version of Power Pack, I reckon you could have a little Disney hit on your hands. You could do a big show with that. So this is basically going back in time a little bit, telling the tale of them when they got the powers. So yeah, I will be picking this up just to give it a go and see what it's like. And I like the cover art. I think that looks pretty cool.
I really enjoyed Power Pack when it first came out. I believe in the 1980s, if I remember correctly. I thought it was cool. 4 kids, like get these powers and the whole spaceship. I mean, that horse that was like their.
Yeah.
I used to like the whole premise of Power Pack. When it first came out. So hopefully it's a good storyline.
Yeah.
And I am next. So this one, when I first seen it, I went, "Oh my God, Rom's coming back." So I don't think he is. After I took a good look at it, I think it's just a cover just to show him, so it's Guardians of the Galaxy #10.
I thought exactly the same, Efra, and then I clocked, I think there was a lot of ROM variants this month in January.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're just doing like a ROM month or something like that.
Yeah.
I love the character ROM. I'd love to see a new ROM series from Marvel.
Yeah. That's another comic book that I really got into, back in the 80s, ROM, But this is Guardians of the Galaxy #10. It says the battle of the branch worlds begins. The flowering of Groot space is almost upon us. Groot space is basically, he's become like a god, Groot. And he's taking over worlds little by little. And he's defeated the Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's just going on from there.
Yeah.
So, so hopefully it's a good storyline.
I read the first issues of Guardians of this new run, and then I don't know, I just kind of died off it a little bit.
Yeah.
I might pick it back up. I'll have to have a look.
We got a message here from I didn't see this one at all, but he's saying that a new Zorro comic released 2 in January. Oh, I haven't seen it in a while. So
Dynamite, Fuzzy. I didn't notice that one this month.
I didn't notice it either. Yeah,
I think
there's
Dynamite
so many
has
books.
the Zorro license from memory.
Oh, cool. Gotta check it out.
Yeah.
If you want to jump on in really quick, Fuzzy, and talk about it, I'll send you the link.
Yeah. Come on, Fuzzy. Join us, Fuzzy. Join us.
Join the dark side. You're up next.
Yeah, okay. So have you read the first issue of this yet, Efren?
Not yet. No.
Okay. I was going to say, because I know Fuzzy hasn't read his copy yet, because he messages about it. I was going to say no spoilers, but there's not much to spoil in this. It's literally Frank Castle's origin again.
Okay.
But with the difference being, I guess, that this guy, this new Punisher, um, his backstory is that he's a Shield's wet work kind of operative. So he does all of Shield's dirty work, assassinations and things like that. And then he has pretty much the identical origin to Punisher in that his family are bumped off. The first issue didn't blow us away, I have to be honest, but I'm intrigued enough to want to carry on. And this cover just jumped out. At first, I thought it was Morbius or a Dracula kind of version of the characters. But I don't think it is. It's something called Fear Master, which I don't think I've heard of before. I don't know if that's a new character they're bringing in. So yeah, I'm going to persevere. I think probably for the first 6 issues, see what I think of it, and then I'll make a decision after that.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I am curious to read it too. Let's check out some of these messages. Deadman says, bought some of the top Zorro books, Fuzzy, along with Lady Rawhide. Fun stories. Good to hear.
Yeah.
I am up next, and this is Wonder Woman. I've been really digging this Wonder Woman series so far. Basically, an Amazonian in issue number 1, not Wonder Woman, attacks some people, and now all like the U.S. government is after all the Amazonians in the United States, and they've captured all of them except for Wonder Woman. She's
Right.
putting up a stand against the U.S. government, and it says if the U.S. government can't stop her, then who can? As Sergeant Steele retreats to gather deadlier forces, the Wonder Girls call on Diana, begging her to lay down her lasso. She will she see the truth before it's too late? So it's been a good storyline. Some espionage in the back, and the guy on the left-hand side, upper.
Yeah.
I don't know who this character is. I believe he's called the King, and he's behind it all.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been a good storyline. I've liked it so far.
I read issue 1, but excuse me, I've not caught up since. But I did like the artwork, and I thought the story was quite interesting. So yeah, I'll catch up on that one. I do like a Wonder Woman story. I've recently read Wonder Woman Dead Earth by Daniel Warren Johnson, and that's reignited my passion for Wonder Woman a little bit.
I think you've told me about that one. I haven't read it yet.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And you're next.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one.
I know. When you picked it, I went, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the fence a little bit with this reinvigoration of the Ultimate line. Black Panther, I have to be honest, is not a character in comic books that's particularly jumped out to us. I've not really enjoyed many of his series, but I want to give this a go. I want to see if it's any good. I want to see if it changes my opinion on Black Panther. It intrigued us a little bit because of kind of what you were saying last month, I think it was, Efren, about some of the comics you picked, that there's no information about this. It just says no information. So it's not telling us anything, which makes us nosy. Do you know what I mean? I think I kind of... So yeah, I'm going to give it a go, see what I think of it. I'll probably only give it a couple of issues, and if I like it, great. If not, no big loss really. But this, for anyone that doesn't know, the Ultimate Universe has restarted recently, and this is one of the offshoots of that, Black Panther.
Okay. Yeah, I was worrying about that, so yeah, but I don't like it when they don't have no information on it at all. That just bugs me,
Yeah.
But
Fuzzy's just saying in the chat there, Efren, that he read that Punisher today, didn't blow him away.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! We'll see what happens. So let me see, Power Pack and Ultimate Black Panther, Glenn for punishment.
Sorry, Fuzzy. Sorry, man.
Yeah. So this is the end of Superman Lost 10 of 10. It says, what is the price of one man's soul? Having finally regained everything he lost, will Superman risk it all again to save a second adapted world from an unhinged Green Lantern? Basically, the way this storyline started is that Justice League went out into space to fight some entity, and it only took a matter of minutes, but Superman was lost for a matter of minutes. To us, to the people on Earth, he was only gone for less than 10 minutes, so to speak. But for him, he was lost for over 20 years. Yeah. And he had to find his way back home to Lois. And he went through, he was shell-shocked. He wasn't the same person he was. And it just takes him through that path. For a while, he was sleeping on the floor. He had, PTSD, and it goes from. It's a good storyline. It's also one of those, to me, it's those Elseworld stories, So, but this is the end of it. It's coming out.
I've been enjoying this. I think I've read the first 6 issues or so, and it's an intriguing story. I think this is a one I'm going to pick up in hardback in like a nice volume, so you can read, because it's a complete story, isn't it? So but yeah, it's been interesting.
I have a comment here by Dead Man. Can't say I understood a lot of loss. Think the story could have been told in 4 issues. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. To each his own. But yeah, I probably could have been told in 4 or 5 issues if they wanted to.
I think for me, a lot of these Ephraim are great stories, but because of my attention span, I lose the trail a little bit month to month.
Yeah.
So I think a series like this for me would be better read in one sitting as a volume. Do you know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sometimes that's true. Yeah. So you're up next.
Can't read that.
God, I made it too small. That's my bad. So
No,
I can read it for you if you want me to.
No, you're right. I know roughly what it's about. So a couple of months back, those of you that watched some of our shows will remember we're talking about the fact that at the Hellfire Gala, there was a bit of a mutant reset, and they killed off a whole host of X-Men. There was a great new team, so it was going to be this year's X-Men announced, and there was like Dazzler in it, Cannonball, and a whole host of other characters. And then they all died within minutes. So there was a Sentinel destroyed and killed them all. This is that team being brought back to life, basically. Not really sure what the mission is, but that's obviously Cannonball on the front there, and you've, I think, got Jubilee and Dazzler going on. So I'm intrigued by it. I'm quite interested to see what they're going to do with it. So
what caught me is they destroyed Krakoa, the island, and bringing back mutants from the dead. So I'm not exactly sure, how alive or how dead they're going to be, or how they're being brought back, so to speak. But I apologize for making that little title.
Fuzzy thinks my choices this week mean that I've been hacked.
No, these are his choices. He sent them to me. So this one, I had to put Philadelphia in there. They're bringing Spawn. They're bringing in Blackula. Now they're bringing in Savage Dragon. So this is Philadelphia number 33. It says, "Death Be Not Proud," part 3 of 6. After the shocking appearance of Spawn rocked the universe of Philadelphia, things take another unexpected twist as the crossover of the century continues. Now enter Savage Dragon. I haven't even read the one with Spawn. I'm not even sure if it's even out yet, but I can't wait to read this series and the characters that they're bringing in from the Image universe. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so
I'll give that one a go as well. I like that.
Yeah, and you're up next.
Yeah, this is linked with Wonder Woman. Obviously, this is Trinity, who's a character who's Wonder Woman's daughter set in the future. She first appeared, I think, in the Wonder Woman annual earlier this year, and I really, really liked the backup story. Since then, I've kind of lost touch with her, and I think she's appeared in backup tales in a whole host of DC books. So this is a one-shot which pulls together a whole host of those tales. So it's kind of, it's not a, I don't think it's a new story. It's a reprinting of a whole host of her different appearances. And she's just a character I really quite like. I love her costume. I think she looks interesting. So yeah, I'm keen to read that and catch up on her a little bit.
Does it say who the father is?
I can't remember. I don't think it does. I don't think it's told yet. But the costume and stuff and the powers and everything, it probably hinting at it being Superman, I think. But I don't know.
Yeah. You're up again.
Oh, I love it. Hopefully I've won Fuzzy back now with this one, I'm sure. This is Blood Commandment number 3 by Simon Krasinski. This is amazing, Ephraim. I don't know if you've read this series yet. Issue 1 blew me away. It's basically a story of a guy who's living in the wilderness with his son in a little cabin in the outback kind of thing. And it turns out, spoilers, that basically he's a vampire. But he's being hunted by other creatures now. So really looking forward to kind of catching up with this. So yeah, had to have this one. And look at that cover. The cover is amazing.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I did read issue number 1, so I've liked it so far, yeah. And next, this is from Dark Horse Comics, Kill Are All Immortals #1. It says Succession meets John Wick with immortal Vikings. I went that alone. I went, okay, that sounds interesting. 1,000 years ago, Viking explorer Eric the Red and his 4 adult children discovered a mysterious source of immortality. Now, in our modern world, they are an enigmatic billionaire family with a powerful banking empire. But when Eric's only daughter, Frey Asvald, seeks to finally be free from her family's influence, she must be prepared to reveal their supernatural secrets and confront her well-trained siblings in a deadly and epic struggle for power. Oof.
Yeah.
So that I love that. I love this cover. So she's just sitting there with the axe in her hand and blood in the back of the wall. So I think this would be an interesting read. So I like these again. These books that are. I'm trying to think of it. I'm drawing a blank on the word now. Books that are not Marvel or DC.
Indie books.
Indie books. Got it. Draw a blank there. Thank you. These indie books are just always grabbing my attention.
It's interesting, Efren. I looked at this one. I nearly sent you this one. That really jumped out at us. There's a couple of nice variants on this as well. But yeah, I think that sounds very cool.
We got a comment here before we go any further by Fuzzy. It says some amazing homage variants for issues 3 and 4 of Blood Commandment.
Yeah, mate. They really are.
Those homage issues, those variant covers always grab us too, man. It's like I said, take my money.
Honestly, Efren, I was talking because me and you talked a lot about variants and about trying to keep away from them after the Stray Dogs debacle.
Gosh, yes.
And I was messaging Fuzzy yesterday or the day before saying I've spent a fortune on Transformers variants, and now I've pre-ordered a whole host of Thundercat 1 variants. And it's like I'm going back down this rabbit hole of just collecting the same comic but with a pretty cover,
Yes,
so I need to talk to myself and stop it.
Yeah, if only comic books were 25 cents again, I'd buy a whole bunch, So you're up next.
Yeah, so Cobra Commander and 1 of 5 by Joshua Williamson. This is all linked into the Energon universe, so the links with Transformers, G.I. Joe, and this is establishing the start of Cobra Commander, the start of Cobra, really. I just think this looks great. I love the art style, and I'm all in on this Energon universe. I'm really, really enjoying the stories that it's kind of given me. So yeah, had to pick this up. This is a definite buy for me.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I've never been into Cobra Commander or G.I. Joe at all.
Yeah.
But because of, how do you pronounce it? Energon?
Energon. Yeah.
Energon. I've been getting into it, so
yeah.
I've been enjoying the
G.I.
story.
Joe is an interesting one. It's I remember it more. So back in the UK, Efren, it was called Action Force, rather than G.I. Joe. But I remember it from the toy line predominantly, and then the cartoons, and then G.I. Joe the movie, which introduced kind of Serpento, I think he was called. Never really read the comics that much, if I'm honest, apart from the old UK reprint ones. Enjoyed the last, because there's been 3 movies, I think, big budget movies for G.I. Joe. So yeah, this has got us interested. Looking forward to it.
Dead Man. He says, I'm just about to bet on another World 33 variant. Not supposed to be doing this. It's tough. You see this covered and it just grabs you. And something, people who are comic book collectors is just like, your eyes roll up and that's not going to, and then you just went, okay, next thing you know, you've ordered it,
But that World Trade series, World Trade 33 by James Tynion, has got some absolutely phenomenal cover artwork.
Yeah.
Quite sexy, some of it. It's very good. Nice stuff.
It's tough. And you're up again.
Yeah, this is just a silly one that I spotted. Zombies versus Aliens tagline got us straight away. Colonized, one shot. I can't really tell you anything about this other than it's from Image, and it looks pretty cool. It says, where there's aliens, there's zombies. These otherworldly threats converge in the secluded Carbon Falls Collective. As a second-gen off-the-gridder, Huxley Robertson is dealing with both loss and the Elders push back against his plans to fully sustain the town. Amid those volatile circumstances, a vainglorious alien explorer inadvertently reanimates the town's dead. I mean, that sounds cracking to me. So aliens versus zombies, you can't go wrong. I'm going to get that.
What I like about it also, it's a one shot. I think we're one and done.
Yeah.
So that was a cool looking cover.
Yeah. It looks very Mars Attacks to me. Do you know what I mean? It just looks
Yeah.
old school sci-fi. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I was trying to remember that movie, Mars Attack, and looks like Deadman's getting this. He says, I ordered this.
Good man.
He says he think it's a 56 pager.
Yeah, I think it's a bumper one.
And Fuzzy's ordering it too. So you got a hit there. You know, you're back to normal. You know,
I'm
so,
back in the
he's
game.
He's back in the game. Yeah. We both picked this one, but you could go ahead, Peter. So
Yeah, it again, pure interest by, really.
Yeah.
It just looked weird and odd, and it jumped out at us. So, you know, I thought I'd give it a go. It's interesting that you picked it as well. It says in the extra length first issue, the biggest book of 2024, Ramon is ready for a quiet life. Whatever went wrong on the failed moon mission, whatever happened in the missing minutes the cameras didn't capture, all he really wants is to settle down back home. But those missing minutes hold an earth-shattering secret, and with all eyes turned on him, Ramon will soon find himself becoming something the world has never seen before.
that's pretty
So
cool.
it just sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna give that one a go.
Yeah. Those missing minutes. I went, oh God, what happened? You know, so, this is one of the ones that that caught my attention too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Europe.
Oh, recommended Reven. So this is Transformers. Look at that cover, man. Just
Yeah.
look at that cover. It's absolutely stunning. This is a wraparound cover. So I will be buying this one. Multiple versions of it, no doubt. This is Transformers number 4 by Daniel Warren Johnson. It's been, for me, it's reinvigorated my love and my passion for the Transformers, which took a bit of a knock after the Michael Bay movies. Just can't wait to continue reading this story. It's been amazing so far.
It's a great cover. It's like, oh my God, look at that cover. We have a comment, I think, from the book, the previous book. Looks like, yes, I've ordered this one too. Pure cover by, I didn't even read the synopsis. And another one by Fuzzy. Love the look of this too. It's co-wrote by a famous rapper. Yeah. So, do you think you could ever write a book, Peter?
I've thought about it loads of times, Efren. I used to travel quite a lot for work down to London, and I used to take a notebook and sketch out ideas and things like that. I'm probably good at the broad ideas, but maybe it's not the kind of the intricate dialogue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what about yourself?
I've thought about it, but that's as far as I've gotten. I don't think I have the creativity to do something like that. So it takes a lot.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Effort.
This is yours also.
I mean, this is just, I'm loving this. I mean, we're only one issue in, but I've really enjoyed the first issue. This is a Universal Monsters Dracula. It's a retelling. Well, it's not a retelling. It's based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it's kind of changed slightly to fit in with their Universal Monsterverse, as it were. So if you're expecting a kind of a word-for-word retelling, that's not what you're going to get. It's changed and mixed the origins a little bit.
Okay.
But it's been really interesting so far. The internal artwork might not be to everybody's taste, but I think it works perfectly for this book. It's a painted style, which I really think works well for this book. Met Martin Simmons at the convention I was at, Thought Bubble, a couple of weeks ago. Lovely guy. Did his dirty on some remarks, but never mind. But yeah, his artwork is phenomenal. So I'm really enjoying this, and this is the end of the 4-parter.
So I haven't read issue number 1. So it's a retelling of Dracula, you said, right?
Yeah, so it's how can I describe it? It's a long time since I've read the original Bram Stoker's Dracula. But it's based on that, but with some modifications and things like that slightly.
Yeah. Let's see.
Very cool. It is very cool.
Let's check out some of the comments before we go any further. It said, read first issue of Dracula, stunning art. Nice.
It is. It's beautiful.
Okay. And we have Desired Comics out here, Nigel. I met Nigel a year ago at Comic-Con. He's a very nice guy, so we just bonded immediately. We were in line to get inside Comic-Con, and we just started talking, so we've been buds ever since. Good guy.
Nigel, did you say Nigel?
Nigel, yeah.
Yeah, Nigel's already impressing us there with his picture. I presume that's him.
Oh, that's true. That's him and Stan Lee, yeah.
I've never met Stan Lee. It's one of my biggest regrets that I never managed to get to meet the man himself.
Yeah. And we have one more comment here by Dead Man. I think Dracula #2 is out next week. Yeah, I got to catch up.
Very good. Yeah, it's worth a read, Efren. It's
Yeah.
worth a read.
Okay, so when we were going through, we always make picks of comic books that that have caught our interest, and there were just two covers. I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "No, I didn't." I said it bugged me so much, and I asked Peter, "Do you mind if I add these two? And if you have any ones you want to add?" So he added two also. So this is no way. These are covers or storylines that we're probably not going to read, and maybe if we're forced to, we'll probably read them. But I said, "Oh, come on!" So I think you're up first.
Oh God. Yeah. So mine aren't necessarily cover based. They're just that I've got no interest in it. So Mary Jane becoming a superhero in Jackpot, I've got no time for that at all, Efren. I mean, I'm not a steadfast Spider-Man reader, but I have been reading Amazing Spider-Man for the last 6 months or so. And I don't know why they keep doing this. I don't know why they keep sticking powers. Mary Jane is a great character in her own right. She doesn't need to be a superhero. You know what I mean? So yeah, I ain't got any interest in this one, I'm afraid. Doesn't float my boat at all. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Again, I've just got no interest really at the moment in them. I tried reading the recent Scarlet Witch annual, I think it was, and it did very little for us. I quite like the character of Quicksilver, but I feel his personality changes every time I read a book with him in it. So yeah, it's just two books that don't float my particular boat. I'm sure they will for other people, but for me, not ones that interest us enough to pick up and read.
Sometimes I think that they don't know what to do with characters who've been around for over 50 plus years. Mary Jane, I was like, come on, why are you giving her powers for? I mean, she's good. She's good enough character not to have powers, but
also look at that costume, Efren. It's awful.
So okay,
Not
these
for
are the ones that got on my nerves when I seen these covers. I went, dang it, why are they doing this? First one on the left is Edge of Spider-Verse #1. I go, Edge of Spider-Verse, the first one was like 10 years ago, I think. They're still trying to milk this through. Yeah. And we all know who Weapon X is, but who is Weapon 8? Find out any story from writing duo Colin Kelly and Jackson Lanzine. I go, is this Cyclops?
That's what I'm thinking. It looks like Cyclops to me.
I just went, come on, why do you have to do this?
Spider-Clops. Is it Spider?
Yeah, yeah. Hashtag Spider-Clops. I went, come on, So I just looked at this and went, this is what first got on my nerves. And then the second one with this picture, this homage has been redone so much from Amazing Spider-Man #300. And you got Wolverine on the cover doing this now. I was like, this is too much. This is Spider-Boy #3. I haven't even read Spider-Boy #1. I don't know if it's a good storyline or not. But just these two covers got on my nerves enough that I asked Peter if we can put this in there as a new segment. He said, yeah. So,
but this is what winds me up, Efren. More than how, because I don't think that's a particularly good image of Wolverine either. I think it's awful.
Yeah.
But you said this is what Spider-Boy issue 2?
#3. So issue 3.
Why is Wolverine on the cover? Why is do you know what I mean? It makes.
I think so. People see it and it has Wolverine on the cover. Maybe people will buy it more than they would normally. But I just went, come on, man. Wolverine doesn't even bend like that, so to speak. So hey, Connie, thanks for joining us. These two covers just got on my nerves. So this may be an ongoing portion of our show. If we see one or two covers that we just don't like. We're not going to make a big deal about it,
I'm going to be honest, Efren. Spider-Clops intrigues us. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, ooh, that could be interesting.
I don't want to hear that you bought 5 covers of it.
I'm going to buy 5 covers.
All right, let's move on. Yeah. This is comic book review. This is another new portion of the show that we decided to add on to it. So we're each going to review one book that we've been reading, and we're going to talk a little bit about each book. And I believe you are up first.
Yeah, so this is The Immortal Thor by Al Ewing with cover artwork by Alex Ross. Al Ewing is an incredible writer when he hits. So he obviously wrote Immortal Hulk, which I think was a stunning series, but perhaps went on too long. He's wrote some great series. I'm not sure this is one of them. So you know I'm a massive Thor fan, my favorite character,
Yeah.
and I was really excited to pick this up. It's coming on the back of some great stories from Donny Cates and Jason Aaron's run and all that. So to be fair to Al Ewing, he was having an uphill fight anyway, I think, to try and match some of the superb Thor stories we've had over the last few years.
Yeah.
This starts off really well for me as a Thor fan. We get the reassembling of Mjolnir because it was smashed previously. We get kind of the old classic costume back, which I really like. And then we get the introduction of the Uda gods, which is basically and this does go back to mythology, the kind of the gods before the Asgardians that we know of. So you get a new version of Thor, Uber Thor, Uga Thor, or something like he's called, which is interesting. But then the story just kind of, I don't know, it feels a bit weak. There's an issue where Thor's going through have you heard of the Odin sleep, Ephron?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he has to do the Odin sleep because he's used so much of his power. And Loki kind of plays games with him, and he has to form an axe, and it just feels like a pointless story. In the most recent issue, to fight this Uber Thor character, he assembles his own Thor corpse. So we get Jane Foster back.
Oh, nice.
Beta Ray Bill back in a Thor costume, which I really like.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we get Storm from the X-Men back in her
wow.
Thor guise. So that's quite interesting. I like that. I'm disappointed he's not brought my favourite Thunder God back, Eric Matheson. Thunder.
I like him too. Yeah.
I'd like to have seen
him.
So yeah, I'm sounding negative, Ephron. It's okay. It's just not blown us away. And I've spoke to a few other people who've said they found it quite boring, so they've stopped reading it, which is disappointing. The other thing I would say is I'm a massive Alex Ross fan, but these guys aren't doing a great deal for us. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the use of the white lightning and stuff, but it's.
I like the one on the left, number 4, when he shows his hammer.
Yeah.
I like that one. So. You mentioned Beta Ray Bill. I've seen your comment on Instagram. He doesn't have his hammer though, right? You made a comment about that.
Yeah. So what's happening? So Stormbreaker was lost a while ago, I think.
Yes.
So what's happening is all of them. So Jane Foster, Storm, Beta Ray Bill, and Thor are all having to share Mjolnir, so they can hold it, get the power of Thor, and then they let go of it, and in 60 seconds they revert back to the human form.
No.
So so it's the next issue is going to be interesting because that's when they're going to be battling this big new god thing. But yeah, it's disappointingly not amazing. It's okay.
He's not immortal.
Well, yeah. It's not a patch on the Immortal Hulk.
Yeah. Before we go on to my pick, let's look at some of the comments here. We have a Fuzzy. Just chose a Guardians comic because Ron was on the cover. Yeah, it was an awesome looking cover. So there's no difference, surely. And we have a Dead Man saying, sorry, number 2 of Dracula was out in the 8th of November, but then looks like it's been delayed.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've not seen
it was delayed, Dead Man. It came out today.
Okay,
there we go. I think we're all caught up. Okay, my choice is just one issue that's been out. When I first read about it a couple months ago, I can't wait to read this. And so far, I've loved it. It's only issue number 1. This is the cataclysmic crossover event of the year here as DC Universe clashes with the legendary monsters in Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. So this issue number 1 starts off with a bang. It has the Legion of Doom in it. They go to Superman's Fortress of Solitude, and they're trying to rip him off, basically take some things, but they get caught, and then they get transported to Skull Island. But right before they do that, Toyman grabs this artifact from Superman, and it's taken with them. And then they go to Skull Island, and they see all these monsters. And then Skull Island says, "Boy, I wish I could bring these to our world." And that amulet that he has basically grants wishes. And next thing you know, they're in the DC world. But it's an Elseworld storyline, but they're transported to them, and it starts from there. So I really enjoyed it. It's just been issue number 1, and I highly recommend it. It's a good storyline.
Yeah, this is a one that's on my list to read. I might wait until it's complete and then read the full thing. But the cover artwork
Yeah.
for this, I'm loving, absolutely
Yeah.
loving.
When they showed that giant-sized Batman fighting
Yeah.
Godzilla, and I just read a quick storyline of issue number 2. They're gonna say who's stronger, Superman or Godzilla.
Yeah,
So I went, oh boy, this is a good storyline. I really enjoy it, So
I like the look
let's
of
look at
that.
the comments before we go any further. And I see this comic book had a music chip in it, so it either roars or growls when you open the cover. Oh wow,
I like that.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I like that, Fuzzy.
I'm getting better at showing people's comments. I'm not getting
You
as
are,
confused as
mate. You
before,
are.
right?
Yeah.
So we got one more here by Deadman. Cheers, because Fables number 162 is delayed until February 6th. I may be waiting for about 30 books. A place in space our pain. Emailed them.
I'm so pleased that you've enjoyed this book, and Deadman's saying there that he loved it as well, because I've
Yeah.
heard some negativity about it, some people saying it wasn't very good,
Huh.
which I think is why I've not rushed to read it yet. This could be a one that I go down the rabbit hole of buying covers for, because I think the covers look amazing.
I think, well, actually, we got one more comment here. I love number 1 of Justice League. I think for me, Peter, even comic books and movies, I go into them with, that I want to enjoy them. So that carries me, even if it's a bad storyline, I just like reading them. I'm always gonna love reading them. And movies, even though some of them are bad, part of me will still enjoy it.
Yeah.
So better than having nothing.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
And our last segment is Reads of the Week. These are books that are coming out on November 29th. Peter picks one, and then I pick one. So are you ready?
Yep.
All right, you're up.
Yeah, it's just a bit of nostalgia, isn't it? Batman 89 Echoes. I love the cover. The cover jumped out straight away. You got Scarecrow underneath Bruce there. I'm intrigued by this. Really, really intrigued by this. So I missed part of the Batman 89 series, the last series they did. So that's out in hardback at the moment. So I've ordered that, waiting for that to come. But this, with the Scarecrow, Arkham behind him, it looks really, really cool. And the synopsis says that Batman's missing, basically, in action. So where is he? So, yeah, it sounds cool. It's done by the screenwriter of the 89 Batman movie. So, yeah, looking forward to reading this one.
Who's the character behind Batman?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It almost has a Joker smile to it, but it looks like a female.
Yeah.
I wonder who that is.
I'm wondering if it's going to be Harley.
Yeah. That the Scarecrow character, the way he looks is almost like a remake, the way he looked previously. He looks so scary now. Great choice. So my choice is Amazing Spider-Man Gang War. To be honest with you, when I went to the list of books, not really one grabbed my interest, so I just picked this one. Hopefully it's a good storyline. This is prelude to Gang War. The super crime landscape of New York has been on edge. This issue, they jump over that edge. What incites the war? Who hired Shotgun and took out Tombstone? So it just goes from there, and it's going to be a crossover event too, because I think Jackpot, I said Gang War, the one you said that you weren't going to buy, and I know Luke Cage is coming out with a new book too, and issue number 1 has to do with Gang War also. So I don't know if it's going to be a good storyline or not. Now that I'm just talking about this, I don't know if I'm even going to read this book.
So I read the must be prelude to Gang War, and it was either an anniversary issue of Spider-Man or an annual or something, and it had Spider-Man as Peter Parker attending was it somebody's wedding?
Tombstone's daughter and Joe Robertson's daughter. Yeah, I did read that.
Yeah. And that's when Tombstone got shot. And it was cheesy, and I thought, oh God. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what this is.
We'll see. But I think we are done. Yeah. So that was fun. I always like doing this. We've been doing this for over a year easily now.
Yeah.
It's the once, video that we always do on a regular basis. And it's going to be on your channel next month. Yeah. So
2024, Efren? How did that happen?
I don't know.
2024, God.
Yeah. So do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about on your channel?
I've got a short out today. Be interested to
Okay.
see if people watch that. This is about a character that you might not be aware of called Super Gran. Have you heard of that character, Efren?
No.
Yeah, so a great 80s or 70s? 80s TV show in the UK of a Scottish grandma who's got superpowers. So I've got a little short out about that. I've got my video out about my trip to the Toy Fair recently. Saturday, we'll probably be doing a Saturday Night Live. I'm on call this weekend, so it just depends how busy the weekend is. And Friday night, me and James have got our I'll Be Right Back video going out, which is a Bruce Campbell movie called Black Friday, which is a crap film beyond belief. So yeah, that's an interesting video to watch.
I told Peter previously before we started on live that I actually finally seen the movie Fright Night.
Oh, it's tremendous.
You know, with Roddy McDowell, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cheesy but good." And it
Yeah.
wasn't scary at all.
No.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a comedy horror more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tremendous.
So it was fun. So let's look at a couple more comments before we end today's show. It's already started this crossover. No, if you're talking about gang war, I think the prelude has started, so it's just revving up, so to speak. And he says Ephraim doesn't like hanging around. He's like on X2 speed, in and out.
Efficient, Fuzzy. We're efficient.
Yeah. And we have one more comment here by Sean. Yeah, watch that short, Super Grand. How can I? So who's this character again?
Oh, she's
Super
amazing.
Grand.
You'll have to watch the show. Go and Google the theme tune, Super Gran. It's amazing.
Okay, I
By
will do
Billy
that.
Connolly, a very famous Scottish comedian.
Yeah. So I don't think I have anything. Oh yeah, maybe I'm trying to finish this video that I just been lamenting on it. It's been going on for about 3 weeks now. It's just storylines that get on my nerves that I didn't like at all. And I've been trying to finish it, but I just haven't.
Yeah.
So. But until next time, everybody, thanks for watching us. And like I said, next month we will be on Peter's channel. Everybody be safe and take care.
Take care now. Bye.